समझ नहीं आ रहा अपने सैलरी इंक्रीमेंट का क्या करूं।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स के एसआईपी का टॉप अप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
क्या? समझ में नहीं आया।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स का एसआईपी टॉपअप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
अब समझा।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.
Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge was ostensibly outraged to learn that some Indian fighter aircraft might have been downed by Pakistanis on the first night of Operation Sindoor. He was reacting to Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan's recent admission about India's aircraft losses during the conflict. Kharge accused the Narendra Modi government of misleading the nation and demanded a special session of parliament as 140 crore patriotic Indians deserved answers to some very important questions. The CDS's admission in an interview in Singapore was not a slip of tongue. He must have anticipated this question. He chose to be transparent, unlike the Pakistanis who celebrated their loss to salve their wounded pride. Kharge and his party colleagues had better listen to the CDS again. He had said in the interview, and I quote, "The good part is that we were able to understand the tactical mistake we made, remedy it, rectify it, and then implement it again after 2 days and flew all our jets, again targeting at long range, quote unquote." Yes, there was a tactical mistake and there were some losses. That's, however, par for the course in military conflicts. What matters is how quickly our Air Force rectified the mistake, striking back in just 48 hours, as the CDS said. It rained fury on Pakistani air bases, rendering them dysfunctional and forcing the Pakistani military to seek a ceasefire. So, what is Mallikarjun Kharge outraged about? About the government not breaking the news about aircraft losses and thereby misleading the country? Well, the government could not have shared operational details in the middle of a conflict. Some of our aircraft might have gone down, but nothing happened to our fighter pilots. For a $4 trillion economy, the loss of military hardware worth a few $1,000,000 is hardly worth the bother. Talk to people on the streets. The Indian Air Force pulverizing Pakistan into submission is the only thing that matters to them. If that's the important question the Congress intends to raise, it's unlikely to bother the Modi government much. Going by opposition leaders' statements so far, the second question they would likely ask during the special session is how Donald Trump mediated or forced the ceasefire. Their idea is to try and puncture PM Modi's projected global stature. They would like people to believe that Modi's effervescence in hugging global leaders is a mere optic for domestic audiences, and leaders like Trump really don't care. Former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram almost outlined the Congress's attack in his column in the Indian Express on Sunday, and I quote from his column: "Despite the dosti of friendship, America deported Indian illegal immigrants in handcuffs and leg chains. Not a word of protest from the Prime Minister. Steep tariffs were imposed on imports from India. Not a word. The US voted in favor of IMF's loan to Pakistan. Not a word. Foreign students, including Indians, were barred from Harvard University. Not a word. Indian students faced the threat of revocation of their visas. Not a word. Student visa interviews have been suspended. Not a word. The dosti lies in a shambles, quote unquote." That was P. Chidambaram. Basically, Congress leaders would have the people believe that Vishwaguru is a hollow rhetoric. Well, some of these barbs may sting PM Modi a little, But people in India also have a fair idea about Trump by now. In his book Rage, Bob Woodward, quoting Donald Trump's son-in-law Kushner, writes that one of the best ways to understand Trump is to study the Cheshire Cat in Alice in Wonderland. And what is that? I'm quoting here. If you don't know where you are going, any path will get you there. Unquote. Modi is not the only leader in the world who has been stumped by Trump. So even though the Congress has a bit of fun at PM Modi's expense by reminding him of his friendship with the American president, that's not something Modi would lose his sleep over. A trade deal here and a good night of sleep there, Trump may soon be hugging Modi again. The opposition would likely rake up the issue of international isolation, citing the IMF's bailout package for Pakistan and no global condemnation of the country for the Pahalgam terror attack. But these are issues that are usually debated in urban elite circles. The BJP knows that for common Indians, the visuals of Indian missiles hitting terror infrastructure and military installations in Pakistan are good enough to make Modi's popularity rating go up again. For them, he has vanquished Pakistan yet again, and that's all that matters. So it's not the opposition that Modi would be bothered about as he goes on road shows and addresses rallies in different corners of India to tell people how bold and decisive their prime minister is. He would not let himself or his government be subjected to any questioning about Operation Sindoor in any special session of parliament. But he would enjoy seeing the principal opposition party deal with Shashi Tharoor and Salman Khurshid after their return from abroad. How will the Congress deal with them for endorsing the government line on Operation Sindoor and Article 370 respectively? We'll see. What must, however, worry the Prime Minister more is his own party, the BJP. His colleagues have just spoilt the victory celebrations. First, Madhya Pradesh Minister Vijay Shah made an odious remark against Colonel Sophia Qureshi, calling her Pahalgam terrorist sister. MP Deputy CM Jagdish Devra then hurled another insult at the armed forces, saying that the country's army is bowing at the PM's feet. उनके चरणों में नतमस्तक हैं. BJP's Rajya Sabha member from Haryana, Ramchandra Jangla, said that the tourists died in Pahalgam with folded hands. I'm quoting him, with folded hands, because they had not taken training under the Prime Minister's Agnipath scheme. He even took a swipe at the grieving wives, saying that they did not show bravery. I'm quoting him again, did not show bravery. BJP MLA from Udhampur East, R.S. Pathania, called the Air Force personnel at the Udhampur Air Base nalaik or incompetent and said that they were sleeping during Operation Sindoor. What was more pathetic was that the national BJP and its top leaders did not think it necessary to take action against any of these leaders or even condemn their insulting remarks against the armed forces and victims of the Pahalgam attack. How could the world's largest party, led by as powerful a leader as Narendra Modi, not punish those motormouths? These leaders are obviously political assets that the BJP does not want to offend or lose. Or maybe BJP does not bother because it is convinced that people will vote for Narendra Modi anyway. The problem is that when people hear Modi talk about how India vanquished Pakistan and avenged Pahalgam, the voices of Vijay Shah, Devra, Jangara and Pathania play alongside in their heads. And because the BJP has refused to take any action against these leaders, similar voices will emerge. PM Modi has got his mojo back after Operation Sindoor. We know it when Modi starts talking about Modi. He has every reason to feel proud about his bold and decisive leadership. The only regret he must have, perhaps, is why he allowed his party colleagues to malign and denigrate our armed forces with impunity. Was politics worth it? This question will haunt PM Modi forever. That's all from me in this episode of Politically Correct. Thanks for watching.